So this is the fourth part of my solo playthrough of Alien Swarm. As we can see, I'm once again going with the Tech Vegas with the usual loadout.
Okay, squad.
Now this fourth mission is the one that gave me the most trouble of all of them. It has the hardest hack to do solo in the game, and while being very short, has plenty of places where you can get completely surrounded with enemies coming from lots of sides in the narrow corridors. As you can see me starting off with some melee work to try and conserve ammo. While they're only coming in ones and twos, it's viable until you start making mistakes. So I swapped to business. I just think I didn't see that one. This is a very clumsy playthrough. I made a lot of mistakes, but nothing fatal. Should have meleeed that thing a lot earlier, but as you know, early on I'm taking a lot of hits. I wasn't actually expecting to get through this playthrough given the number of hits I took early on, but I tried again anyways. I tried to go through it anyways because trying to keep down the number of attempts to get through something to a minimum. I believe this might have even been my first run through of this level since I started recording. I can't remember exactly. All I know is when I did the recordings, I didn't take more than 3 attempts to get through anything. Most of them I got through on the second go. I'm just cutting back from the reactor, trying to prevent me from taking any more damage, because I'm already far too hurt for my liking. It's horrible flying loads of pain. So I've cleared the entrance, I'm gonna drop down the sentry. It's not the best sentry placement, as we'll find out in a moment. I actually should have angled it a bit more to cover the right hand side of the screen. But in the end it didn't matter. Now I got very lucky with this hack. As you can see, most of it's already done. It's actually very quick, which is good because, as I said, this is a very difficult hack. And just finishing it before I get rushed from the side. And the difficult thing about that hack is you cannot deploy the turret to cover every direction, and that's the example of why it wasn't faced enough. The bugs can get in past the turret at me, try to get on the turret again, give up because they're coming in again. In the end, it didn't matter. I didn't need the extra firepower. Yeah, you cannot cover yourself in every direction with that hack, so if they come up from the left-hand side, which they didn't then, and it was a very fast hack, so I was lucky, but if they come up from that side, you basically have to stop and fight them off.
Command is accessing the colony's computer systems right now. Keep moving and we'll regroup up ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I got through that. I'm very lucky with the hack, so I got through that very quickly. That's the hardest part of the level done.
I'm gonna be straight with you, it's all bad.
There's only really one other point that's difficult, and once again it's a case of it's only difficult if you play by their rules, rather than staying out in the open where you're getting attacked from every side. If you fall back into a nice narrow place, you'll be fine. Now that sentry is again a little too far forwards, as it's not a big deal here, but some of the enemies can slip past it, as we see here. As I don't actually need to hack that panel, it's not a big deal. Wait for the door to open slowly. It's a very short mission, this one, but as I said before, it is I found the most dangerous in solo play because of that reactor. It's definitely the one that took me the most attempts in my first run through, which was before I started recording. It's also the last mission I completed before I started recording. It was after this one I decided, you know what, I should record this. So from the next video onwards, I'd never tried to solo run it before I'd started recording. And I believe the 3 missions after this, I beat all of them on the second run through. We just cut through all the boomers, touch the door, and just, that was very clumsy, and just pull back to this point here. The majority of the enemies won't follow you in, and you can just sit here, deal with a couple of rangers that will creep forwards. Half the time their shots won't even go into the area anyways. So you can just hole up here and wait for the elevator to come up rather than trying to fight off attacks from every direction. As I said, their attacks half the time won't even come into the place. You may have noticed them hitting the thing, hitting the embankment. You can just sit in a corner and wait, but I figured it was more interesting if I went out and shot at them. And of course it does help keep it down when you do the run through here. And it's just a matter of getting to the lift. Fire out some warnings because, and there's the mission done. So that's mission 4. Mission 5 will be up soon.